thanks to the support as a channel member, Nathan Curry. Well, as expected, the miserable run has hit. We're still in the top half of the table. I'm becoming more and more grateful we won those games early on. Hello and welcome to part 77 of Bourne Again. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have championship games away against Cardiff and at home against Bristol City. Since you were last with me, look at the absolute state of that. Yikes. Terrible form. Can't score goals. Not very good. It's not been a very pleasant 6 games. 2 points from 6. I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure in the last episode, Past Kev looked at those 6 games and said there's every chance we could go through them and not get any points at all. So the fact we picked up 2, I guess when you look at who we played, you can almost accept it. But what it does mean is looking ahead at the next 6 or 8 or however many it is, we probably need to pick up some results, and the games ain't getting any easier. We need these games again, the ones that were winnable early on in the season. MK Dons, Millwall, Ipswich, Barnsley. They're the kind of teams we want to be playing, not Forest and Sheffield United and Everton and Stoke and Huddersfield. Oh God, this is a hard league. This is what the league table looks like. We are still in 10th place, which is a positive. Ridiculously, we're still only 3 points outside of the playoffs. Not that we're thinking in terms of playoffs at all, but it shows how mad this league is, that we could potentially still sneak into a promotion spot relatively easily from here, even though we're 24 points behind the team who are top of the league. The playoff system is fundamentally flawed, boys and girls. But again, also positive, we're ahead of the Kev ratio, 16 games played, 21 points on the board. As long as we stay ahead of that ratio, we'll be fine. And it is still this season, it's just about getting to 50 points. The sooner we get there, the better. Any results we can pick up to help us towards that, awesome. And let's just be glad we're not MK Don sat there on 7 points at this stage of the season. Those early wins are going to prove super duper crucial. So if we have a look at the season review, this is the season preview, sorry, this has now changed, and the media are now predicting a 23rd place finish for us. It was originally a 21st place, and the media thought we might escape relegation. Even from the position that we're in, the media are still expecting us to get relegated this year. We need to get some more points on the board fast. This is the team we're going to put out there to do it. We have had some injury problems. As you can see, Arnautovic has been injured but is back. Pavlov has been injured, is back. If we have a look down here, Murray has been injured, not quite back. Lastra, still injured. Broadbent, still injured. Husic, now suspended, but also has been injured, is now back, but is now also suspended. It's not ideal, but we have made some tweaks to the system after a recommendation from the comments section yesterday with regard to Fitzpatrick, who... I mean, there's a section of the comments that thinks he hasn't played well because they rely too much on average ratings and goals and stuff. But he's our biggest attacking threat. If we have a look at assists, he's our top assist maker. Pavlov second for assists. He has got 2 goals as well. So there's only 3 players at the club who've scored more goals than him. Average rating wise, but then I don't read too much into average rating. I can't even see him. He's all the way down there. What I see him do is effective, but what we've done is twisted around the positions a little bit. Mejia, or Mejia as apparently it's supposed to be, it's going to be Mejia forevermore. He's more of a goal threat, so we made him the attacking inside forward rather than supporting. Fitzpatrick has come off inside forward, come off an attacking instruction, and is now going to play as an inverted winger on support, where hopefully he can still get into these dangerous positions, but play it into the path of Pavlov or Thorndike or Mejia, and hopefully get some goals from there. That's my hope. It's a worry that Hernandez and Arnautovic can't play well together. In fact, it's not that they can't play well. People misinterpret this. It doesn't mean that they can't play well together. It means so far they haven't played well together, but they could. There's no reason to stop playing them together. They just need to start getting better at doing football. These two have got encouraging signs, as have these two. But these two partnerships, not so great. But we'll see how it pans out. It's Cardiff up first. Cardiff are 14th in the league. So it's a home game against a team below us in the league. If we're to stay up this season, these are the kind of games where we need to pick up some points. So fingers crossed we can find a way to grab ourselves a win in this game against Cardiff. We've got Hardy in goal. A back four of Barnes, Kitching, Hewson and Dodd. Hernandez and Arnautovic of the midfield. Fitzpatrick, Thorndyke and Mejia behind Pavlov up front. Let's get into the game and let's just cross everything and hope. There's also a growing fan club for bringing Querol back into the team. I get your point. I understand why you would want to see Querol. But my issue with him is he only turns up for big games. Week to week league games, you don't even notice he's in the team. So he's not really the player for this kind of situation. And also, to bring him in, we have to take Fitzpatrick out. And like I say, Fitzpatrick is our goal threat. Every piece of good attacking play touches him at some point, even if a lot of them so far have ended with him fluffing his lines. But the fact that we've now, I probably should have adjusted his instruction a little sooner to make him into a provider rather than someone who's supposed to be in there finishing. And hopefully this change to inverted winger will prove a positive one for him. The Cardiff players are uninterested. We've had a half there where we've had 0 highlights. I mean, if it ends like this, I'm not going to be devastated. It's a point that we could use. Let's passionately say we're not doing too badly. If we carry on as we are, we can win this because we have dominated possession. We've just not really done anything with it yet. But here we go. We finally get a highlight. It's Barnes. Back to Kitching. Kitching plays it to Barnes again. He's got options ahead of him if he chooses to just look up and use them. But Barnes and Kitching are just knocking it back and forth between each other. Finally finding Fitzpatrick, who plays it across to Thorndyke, who's dropped a little bit deep here. Hernandez looking for Mejia. He flicks it down to Dodd. Dodd trying to get the crossover and it falls to Hernandez, thankfully. I thought that was going to be a Cardiff counter-attack. It does feel like it's the kind of highlight, that might be leading to us making a mistake in Cardiff going and scoring, because there's lots of this knocking the ball back and forth at the back. Arnautovic plays it forward to Mejia. We've kept the ball for a long time here. This is a nice move. Barnes is in and shoots, and it forces a good save out of the Cardiff keeper. We've got a corner. That was some nice possession, and it did lead to a good chance. Fitzpatrick with the corner can't find a Bourne player to head it in though. And I mean, if that was the best chance of the game so far, that says a lot about how the game has been up until this point. Let's ask for some creativity. Mejia has picked up a yellow card, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. He's in here though. Can he get past his man? He can. He shoots and scores. What a goal from Mejia! My word, that was out of absolutely nowhere. We've switched him to be the more attacking option in the wide areas. He's now our outright top scorer, moving past Pavlov onto 5 goals. This man, with that in this role, doing that kind of thing, he could be the kind of player who could save our season. What a goal. And now let's just have the rest of the game like that first half. Nothing happening. We don't need another highlight. Thanks very much. Fitzpatrick not having a very good game rating wise again. So we'll bring Bruce on to play on that left hand side. We're also going to take off Pavlov, who needed to come off because of injury anyway. I don't know why that's auto changed Scargill to an advance forward rather than a pressing forward. Because we always play him as a pressing forward. Barnes couldn't get the tackle in there, but Hardy is there to pluck the cross out of the sky and hopefully get things moving further forward again. You can see behind the goal, that's our new stand. It's been finished. We now have just over a 5,000 capacity here at Abbey Lawn, which we've got 1,700 Bourne fans in here today, which is some very solid support for our team of our side this season. And Arnautovic plays it into Bruce. Oh, he's offside. I thought we had a second goal. The lads behind the goal are so happy. But no, how close was this? This looked like, I mean, it's not hugely close, but if you ignore the lines and look at the players, it looked a lot closer than those lines looked. Dodd's picked up an injury now. Oh, we have got Webster on the bench as another option for right back. We're running out of right backs here. Alex Webster, it's been a long time since he's been anywhere near the team. He was our League 2 right back the year we didn't go up and has barely featured since, but is another one of these who's hovering around the squad because he now classes as homegrown at clubs, so can sit on the bench in situations like this. We've got 4 or 5 of them now who are kind of blasts from the past, but because we signed them so young, they're worth keeping around, so we don't have to put random greyed out players on the bench. Mejia now, trying to hoodwink his man again, but can't get past him. And this, if Cardiff equalise here, this is just, it doesn't bode well for our season. Good, they've hit it wide. They've not had a chance until that one in the entire game. If we don't end up picking the 3 points up here, we're doomed, which would be very sad. They're struggling to get the ball away here, but then lumped it forward, and we need someone to clear it. Kitching does, plays it up to Mejia, who has players supporting him if he wants to use him. He's trying to go it alone. Thorndike slots Scargill in. Scargill scores, and there's the second of the game, a first of the season for Scargill. We're 2-0 up on the 94th minute. I don't know how we suddenly got more fans behind the goal than we did in the previous highlight, but we have. Abbey Lawn's looking quite snazzy as a 5,000 capacity stadium. I quite like it. And that is a tidy little finish from Scargill. And we've picked up 3 points today here, boys and girls. That is huge. We absolutely needed that. It has been a long time since we've won a league game. Looking at the upcoming fixtures, it might be a long time until we win another one. So we will enjoy that. We will make the most of that. And there you go, 6-match winless run. And again, looking at the fixtures, when might the next one come? We might be looking, those Ipswich and Millwall games back to back are looking huge in January. That already is identifying itself as next episode because they're going to be so massive. But let's see how we got on against Bristol City. You never know, we might do something ridiculous. Right, a couple of changes for the Bristol City game. Then the first one is forced. Webster comes in for Dodd, who is injured off the back of the last game. I don't remember the last time we started a homegrown club player, but Alex Webster getting a start in the Championship, which I imagine isn't something he expected to be doing for us when he signed from Liverpool 3.5 years ago. But there he is, starting a Championship football match. We've also brought Bruce into the central midfield to play alongside Hernandez. I'm still not convinced about Arnautovic. He still needs time. He needs to learn the language. And until he's fluent in English, I don't think we're going to see the special things from him that we're expecting. Potential to be a Premier League central midfielder in the future. I'm not seeing it yet. I've not seen him have a good game, which I know people are going to say his average rating's better than Fitzpatrick's. Yes, but I've seen Fitzpatrick play well. I've not seen that from Arnautovic yet, so Bruce comes in for him. Otherwise, it is an unchanged team. Keeping Pavlov in up front because he's my hero. Obviously, Scargill is down on the bench, and if Pavlov has to come off again and Scargill comes on again and does goals again, then obviously we'll start making some decisions. But at the moment, Pavlov will maintain that position as my starting striker forever because he's awesome. I'm still expecting him to become a world beater. I just have a feeling about him. Sometimes you get feeling about a player and rational thought doesn't come into it. You just keep playing him. Or I do anyway. And I definitely have feelings for Pavlov. We almost conceded a goal there. Bristol City already looking like a better team than Cardiff, who we just played. And the league table doesn't lie. It confirms that, although they are directly above us. Only 1 point above us at the moment. Looking at that league table as an outsider looking in, it looks like 2 teams battling for a playoff spot. And I absolutely don't consider us to be one of those. But the league table doesn't lie. Once said a wise man, Pavlov, with a big miss there. Would Scargill have scored? No way of knowing. Just no way of knowing. And it remains 0-0 as we march towards half-time. We're controlling possession again nicely, which we do play some nice football. We're just a little bit vulnerable to superior teams, which I guess is the case for most football teams. We've been the better team here. Keep doing what you're doing. We'll be fine. I'll be delighted with a draw from this game. If we come out of this episode with 4 points, that is far more than I could have dreamt of from these 2 fixtures. So I'm happy with how things are going at the moment. Thorndike plays it forward, looking for Pavlov, who takes the ball down well and is now running at the Bristol City defenders. Tries to get the shot away, probably a little bit too soon. Arguably should be waiting for someone to get up there and join him. But the fact that there was no one else in the shot kind of indicated that he probably knew he had to do it on his own because no one had made the run with him. It was a very quick counter-attack, and he could have done with having Messier up there with him, or Thorndyke, just to be there to tuck in a chance if a pass had come their way. Messier's running in a very strange manner there with his hands almost inside his shorts, and Hardy has just pulled that out of the air as if the TV cameras are here. He just wanted to look fancy. Need to get my shorts dirty. Let's do this fancy style. Could have got your shorts dirty there and tried to save that, but no, just stood there and let a bullet header fly past you. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. I think we've been the better team in this game, but just championship. It's the story of the season. It's so disheartening. Just higher quality players. And I know that was a set piece and it doesn't quite meet what I'm talking about, but the amount of times we've looked like we're in a game and then it just hasn't quite gone our way. Bruce, looking for options ahead of him, finds Messier, who sprays it out looking for Fitzpatrick, who inexplicably didn't even chase after it. And now Bristol City have just ran through the centre of our team as if it doesn't exist. And the shot goes flying high and wide. We're going to ask for some creativity. I'm looking down at my bench wondering what I'm going to do, because our entire attack could do with coming off here. And I'm tempted to do a triple substitution if I've got the players around to do it. I haven't. I can do two. Fitzpatrick gets to stay on because I think it's more important to get Scargill on up front than out wide. But Goddard can definitely come on for Thorndyke and have a game in there. And then we've got three good options to come on in central midfield for whichever one of those I decide to take off. Apologies for the sudden no talking and pausing and probably alarmed expression on my face. An enormous spider just emerged from under my keyboard and startled me. I'm not afraid of spiders, but you don't expect things to just crawl towards you on your desk. He's there again. He's just walking around on my desk. Luckily, I have all the cups in the world, so I can just put a cup over him and we'll deal with him after this video. I wonder how much more wildlife is living between the cups and the cans that are on my desk. Scargill, why on earth is he all the way back there? Did it auto change him to an advanced forward again, by the way? No, it didn't. It kept him how I want him to be. We'll let this highlight happen, then we're going to make a change in central midfield. Webster looked like a League Two player there, didn't he? A League Two player who lost his place halfway through the season and never really got back in the team. That's exactly what he looked like there, because that is exactly what he is. But he's the only fit right back we've got at the club at the moment. Hernandez should have done better there. He might be the man who's going to come off in central midfield. And there is your second goal for Bristol City. And it's so the story of this season. You look at those stats and you can't separate those teams, but every team we come up against has more quality in front of goal than we do. And they're a little bit sturdier at the back. And there you go. Clark has been injured for a long time, but it's good to have him back available to bring into that midfield again. It's not going to make enough of a difference. We're not going to score 2 goals in the last 5 minutes of this game. And that entire run where we weren't winning games, they were all very similar to this one. And I guess this is all that we could really expect from this season. We're hopefully going to accumulate enough points to be safe come the end of the season. We're still in 11th as we get towards the halfway point of the season. 24 points on the board already. If we do another 24 points in our next 18 games, we're going to be safe with 6 games to go. So we can't really complain about how things are going, but it just feels a bit rubbish when it's happening. Right, I think we probably are going to come back somewhere in early January. It depends what our FA Cup third round tie looks like. We might do that and Villa, or we might do Ipswich and Millwall if it's a boring third round tie, because these two are must-win games, whereas Villa is obviously a big game, so they're a big team, but the FA Cup third round could be interesting as well. We'll see. We'll see how things pan out. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.